You know what? I don't know. I did that devotional this morning, and I was getting ready for work, and you know what? When something like is nagging you and nagging you, and honestly, something was nagging me and nagging me. As I was sitting up here getting ready for work, and I say, I don't know. Maybe someone needed to hear it in another way, or someone needed to hear it in a better way. But I said, even for all intents and purposes, I said, I want a better understanding of what I just read. I said, I wanted a better understanding, honestly, of what I had read, because I was having a hard time, like, I don't know, getting the meaning out of it. And, as I said before, when we have a hard time understanding or whatever we read, we have to seek knowledge, and hey, we have to ask, okay, well, you know what? And sometimes we have to seek it for ourselves. So I took the liberty of going back and saying, okay, well, I'm gonna redo this. I'm gonna break it down just a little bit more, honestly, because I didn't understand it just all the way. I know what it was saying, the meaning, but evidently maybe someone else needed to, understand, or maybe it's a message even for someone else to, hey, understand what it was. I just know that God was just nagging me like, hey, you know what? Go back through it, go back through it or something. So, and then I'm listening to my music, so every song is talking about being set free, and how it's freedom, and how freedom is to have joy. So I'm gonna just like briefly. So, but like I said, I'm gonna try to be on time today. So I'm gonna do this just briefly. Hold on. Okay, so this is what I will do. Just like really quickly, just briefly. I'll just go over, and honestly, now I'm recording because I'm gonna save it for myself. And again, hey, working on the reciting part. Well, not the reciting, just getting to know verse, because we have to, like we said yesterday, we have to have that weapon, and to fight against things that we hear, or to fight the enemy sometimes. No, all the time. We have to know how to fight, and we have to know about what weapons to use. And hey, knowing our word is knowing which weapon to use, and knowing our word only consists of knowing which weapon to use. But hey, where do we go to find that weapon? And with the enemy, we know we have to be quick, fast, and hurry with it. So, let me stop. Anyways, get out of the distress. I called upon the Lord. The Lord answered me and set me free. That was the devotion already this morning. Psalm 11, 8, and 5. If you find yourself running late every day, everywhere you go, even 50% of the time, that is evidence of a stronghold that Satan has built in your life. Get free from it, or the devil will use it to keep you under pressure. And see, this morning when I went through it, I kind of like applied it like somehow, because you know what? So, like I said, hey, I don't understand everything I read fully. And especially if I don't understand it, I want to at least go back through it so I understand it better, in order to bring it to someone else in a better way, or push forward in some way, or make someone else's understanding where they understand it in the way that they need to receive it and use it and apply it, to the way the listener needs to apply it. Put it that way, and just leave it alone. You may have an excuse for every time that you are behind schedule, but something is wrong. If that behavior pattern is repetitive, something definitely wrong with it. Ask God to show you how to get free from the pressure of always hurrying and being late. Starting your day with God will help you set priorities for your day. Get to the root of the problem and enjoy with the fruit of God's indwelling presence to you where you need to be, on time and without hurrying. And that's what I was kind of like, went through it and studied with it. But I went through and I had to just break it down and say, okay, well, God was just saying, hey, someone maybe needs to hear it in another way, or to apply actually what It could mean also, but which I got it most of the way right. That God is watching down everything we see. He sits a throne on high, looking down on us to let us know, the things that are in ahead of us and how we need to face them. But just going over it quickly, I'm gonna just go through it quickly, just so because I had to look it up and hey, look here, look there. But also, someone can take it and apply it. It's Psalm 11, and that's just what I read. Psalm 11, 8 and 5. And what that's really, and like I said, I had to look it up, and I just got a clearer meaning. So I'm going to bring it to you the same way that I was like, okay, I get it. Psalm 11, what it said basically in a nutshell: a decision that being set free or get free. The decision between fear-based flight and again, look at my live video to see actually how I went over it this morning, because it's not the first time I'm going over it. This is the second time because I wanted better understanding, to get better understanding for someone else. Maybe someone needs to hear it in another way. Maybe someone is seeking how to free themselves from drugs, alcohol, life decisions, stresses, problems, that they may have facing in their life or something, or the enemy. Well, everything that's holding us down is the enemy. So maybe someone needs to hear it in another way, that God was he was nagging me. No, go back, do what I said, okay. So I'm doing what he said. Psalm 11 describes a decision between fear-based flight. Hold on, because now I'm like trying to hear it now. Just so I'm not hollering over the music. So I can go to this briefly. And then if you have any questions about what it means to be set free, or Psalms, well again, hey, Psalms 11, 8 verse 5, 8 through 5. Just read, basically, if you read the chapter, just mostly try to read all of it. But Psalm 11 describes the decision. Psalms, that we know, was basically about David and his battles between a lot of things, just David and his battles. So read up. I'm not going to tell you all of it, so read it. Psalms 11 describes a decision between fear-based flight. That's when the bird was in the mountain. Fear-based flight and faithful trust in God when facing danger and wickedness. Hey, you know what? And maybe that's what God kept on. You know what? All I was kept saying was, and when I read it first was, hey, God, messing with his people, messing with his righteous people. Because the wicked and the enemy is always, standing there with his bow and arrow waiting to shoot right at our hearts and pierce our hearts. And when you want to get somebody, that's where you get them at, where in the heart. You want to touch their heart, you want to touch their feelings, and the enemy is waiting to do that with his bow drawn back. But God said, hey, I'll rain hot coals on you, amongst other things. God is going to go to battle for us. But anyways, God, when facing danger and wickedness, the psalmist David refuses to flee to the mountain like a bird. He refuses to give up and let fear win over him. And you know what? He refuses to give up. That's what, again, this is get free. Being set free and get free. Being set free, we've already been set free, but some of us, we want to hold ourselves or let fear hold us down. We've been set free. Stay free are the ones that haven't been. Get free. The psalmist David refused to flee to the mountains like a bird, asserting his refuge in the Lord, who is on his heavenly throne, like I said again, and sees everything. His eyes see everything. His eyelids are open. And like I said, hey, something that sits on high, like if I was sitting up here on this light, I'm looking down on everything and everybody. I can see. I have a bird's eye view. I have a bird's eye view of everything, 360, 24. And then he's a watcher of the gate that's up 24 hours, 7 days, 8, and everywhere, watching everything for everybody. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't take time to go get a drink of water or a bathroom break. He sees it all 24/7. He's on the throne, watches, and he sees it all. He's who is on his heavenly throne and sees all actions. The psalmist contrasts the righteous, and this is again about being set free, the righteous with the wicked, who are prepared to attack. Once again, the wicked and the enemy is set with his bow drawn back, ready to shoot. hey, in secret though. He don't want us to, he's not out in the open saying, hey, y'all see me. But you know how we know it? Because God is on his throne and he's letting us know that he's around the corner. He's doing these things in secret or while we sleep or behind your back or whatever. He's doing it in secret, but he's got his bow drawn to pierce their heart. The psalmist contrasts the righteous with the wicked who are prepared to attack and culminates in the assurance that God justly judges the wicked and blesses the righteous who will one day see the Lord face to face. And in the Bible, when it said, if you'll go, like I said, hey, go and see, hey, how he is going to deal with the wicked who's messing with his righteous people, who just because they decide not to get righteous themselves. See how God is going to judge the ones that, guess what, who's messing with the ones or who's trying to throw us, people like me, off track, just trying to get on track and stay on track. But you have the enemy there, around every corner. But hey, God has a remedy, and it ain't good either. But hey, I'm not gonna. Hey, y'all read Psalms to see what God has in store for the enemy, trying to defeat us and trying to get us off our course of our course that we're on. The conflict, fear versus faith. Again, that's what being set free, getting free is. Hey, walking in faith and not on fear anymore. We've walked in fear. You know what? Fear of successes, fear of being wrong, fear of this, fear of that. You know what? Fear of turning left when we should have. Hey, walk on faith. And the reason why we walk on faith because we want to trust in God that he's going to tell us the right things to do. He's not going to lead us astray. He's not going to let the enemy have a chance or opportunity to catch us off guard because, hey, we walking in faith that God say, hey, I know the enemy standing up there about 100 feet. So what we hear in our minds, no, what we hear God tell us is say, hey, right when you get to, hey, say, dang, I done walked 90 feet. No. Right when you walk 90 feet, what you need to do is turn to the right. And you say, hold on, because what I need to go is right there in front of me, another 10 feet. No, just because you don't walk 90 feet and right there at 100 feet is where you need to go. We have to walk on faith and use that discernment of what God, or them voices, if people want to say, hey, what God is telling us. Walk in faith. Hey, walk 90 feet. Don't take another step. Don't walk 91 feet. You walk 90 feet and then you turn to the left or you turn to the right, whichever way the Spirit, faith, God is telling you to go, because he knows what's in front of us. So we want to walk on faith. You know what? Because guess what? Once we take that 91, 92 steps, that's when the road gets shaky and we say, oh my gosh, hold on. It's been so clear and straightforward up until this point. Now I'm at 91, 92 because we chose not to walk on faith and do what the Lord told us or the Spirit told us to do. You know what? Now we on shaky ground. And now, hey, now trouble is coming our way because now we seeing more and more people. Now we at 95 feet. Now we seeing why the Lord told us, because now we see that bow. Hey, we see that bow drawn right at us. Because now we see why back at 90 feet we should have turned when, hey, the Spirit told us to turn. We have to trust in him. And all that he's saying, all that he does, we have to trust in him. It's not to our own understanding. We don't need to understand anything. All we need to know is who it's coming from. That's all that we need to know. Hey, like check this out. Hey, we need to trust that tomorrow's coming. And we don't know whether it does or doesn't. But if it does, we know who it's coming from. We have to trust and believe that it is. We have to have faith. Faith, we have to love, we have to hope for the best things. You know what? And then when it does happen, we know who it's coming from. We don't even know if, when, where. We have to have faith that, you know what? Just, and again, when my son just got out of jail, and I remember I was telling him on the phone with Johnny, you know what? What we going to pray for is, hey, not for your release. We're going to pray that God is going to do what's best for you. Whatever's happened, hey, we're going to just, hey, have faith that God, not faith that God won't set you free. Hey, we're going to have faith that, hey, whatever happens, we're going to know that whatever decision, because God is that ultimate judge. Forget who's sitting on the bench in front of you, because, hey, God, he's not of this world. You know what? Those decisions are made on another realm, in another place, way before they come down and touch man, the flesh, basically, and breathe basically tell the judge what to tell you. It's already decided. Hey, we have to have faith that not that it's going to be what's best for us, but it's going to be the best decision coming from God. Then, hey, even if they would have kept him in, hey, I would have just said, hey, thank you, Lord. Because we know that, hey, we walking on faith that it's for a reason that he was like kept in. But you know what? Fortunately, you know what? We're going to see what happens. And hey, walking on faith because, hey, he was being said, he was being let out. He was let out. So we're going to walk on faith that he continues his walk with God or continues to get to know, get a better relationship with him. But then, okay, and then let me go on so I can get to work. But the psalmist's friends, that vice of fear. It's a conflict. Being set free, it's a conflict of right and wrong. Fear over faith. Faith over fear, right over wrong. Black and white, left and right. You know what? It's a conflict between something that's contrasting the other. And the one that, hey, we want to always choose to walk on faith, to choose the one that's the better one. Hey, because we know that's the faithful decision. That's the faithful way. The vice of fear. The psalmist's friend encourages him to escape because the wicked are setting their traps and arrows against the righteous. This is to David. They argued that if the foundations of society are destroyed, the righteous can do nothing. Again, the Lord is telling him, hey, there's people, like when I walk out this door, there's people out there. The Lord, he sees everything out that door, even though I'm standing inside. Hey, he's letting you know their arrows are drawn up against you to destroy you in everything that you are, everything that you believe in. But we got a resolution to that. The righteous can't do nothing. The answer to that is David rejects this advice, declaring his unshakable trust in the Lord. He finds refuge in God, not in physical flight. His confidence is not in his own. And that's how he endures that. The consequence, though, hey, now that David has endured that, God got something. The consequence for the wicked. Wicked will face divine judgment. This is verse 6-7. Oh, that's them hot coals raining down. Divine judgment, receiving punishment like a portion of their cup. Hey, our cup floweth over. Hey, our cup runneth over. Hey, that's how much the wicked gonna be judged by God. You know what? For messing with the ones that are trying to be righteous, trying to stay righteous, receiving punishment like when they say portion of their cup. In contrast, the righteous will be rewarded with God's presence, seeing him face to face. And this is what we all strive to be. But like I said, and there's more to read about in Psalms 11. I just want to just clarify what get free is. Because about, hey, the truth. Yes, it is about truth because we know there's truth. The truth, where does the truth come from? Being righteous, having faith in God. That's where, it all ties and blends together. So it's about get free. Everybody, let's get free. You know what? Freedom, freedom is truth, love, joy. It's all of that because, like I said, it all ties together. Everybody, let's get free. And happy birthday again, K-Dog. But yeah, like I said, I just had to go more in depth on that because it had just been bugging me. Sometimes we can't just read something and go over and just leave it alone and say, okay, everybody got it. And hopefully they go along and apply it to their lives today. Or, you know what, the ones who are seeking or tired of being in captivity, they want to be set free. I didn't explain it real well how to do that. So it had been bugging me to go back. God had been saying, hey, you know what, this is for a reason. This could be for somebody. You know, so like I said, hey, you know what I'm saying? I admire my mom and my daddy too much because I was hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't mind that much. I was hard-headed and I thought I was grown. But my Father, my Heavenly Father, hey, I'm trying to do a better job at listening to his commands and doing just as he asked me to do when he asked me to do them. So even though I'm on time and as far as working, I said I was going to work on not procrastinating today and being on time. Hey, we still have to know when he walk on faith that, hey, I'm going to still make it on time because, hey, I had to stop and just do what was on my heart through him to do, you know, and hope that somebody else said, man, okay, now I understand and I needed that. So that's my song right there. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna have faith that the Lord, He gonna make it there. Hey, faith might be, hey, when I walk out this door, guess what? Listen. Something about the name of Jesus. Something about the name of Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Oh, how I love the name of Jesus. Hey, walk on faith. I promise that. Hey, that's the sweetest name I know. Sweeter than honey. Anyways, hey, again, God bless. And I hope that I clarified that good enough. And I hope somebody that was for someone's own understanding. But sometimes it's not for our own. Just, you know what? But if you, hey, seek it. Hey, same way I had to go back. Hey, pick up Psalms 11. Read it. Read about David and his battles. David and all of that. When I call your name.